So, look what I picked up from Facebook Marketplace. These wheels are pretty much a diamond in the rough. They are not in the best shape. They're very dirty. The tires look like they've been stored outside for a little bit of time. They're kind of dry. They don't have that tacky feeling to the rubber anymore. But as you can see from the center caps, these are BC forged. I don't know the model number, but these are in the rose gold finish. Somewhere beneath all that caked on brake dust, there is a beautiful rose gold finish. You can see here. So these wheels are in desperate need of some TLC. And I got extremely lucky with these, and I'll tell you how I came across them. So I was looking for some C43 or C63 high-end forged wheels. So I was looking at BBS, HRE, BC Forged, Signature, any of those kinds of wheels. And I wasn't having much luck because the C43 is a really strange fitment on the fronts. You have to be, I think 19s are the best size for the car, but you have to be at about a 30 offset on the fronts for it to work. And that's really difficult because not many aftermarket wheels in the 19 will come in an 8.5 on the front, which is as wide as you can go. So 19 by 8.5 and a 30 offset. The rears are a lot easier to come by. They're a 19 by 9.5 and about a 45 offset will work. But the fronts are the tricky part. So anyway, I'll put a picture up to show you how these wheels were advertised. So as you can see, there is not much in the way of a description, and it was not one of those listings that you would have easily come across. It just said they were removed from a Mercedes, and that was all the information they had. And the wheels were extremely dirty, just stacked up in a garage, not easy to see what you were buying, and the price was initially $3,000. Now I could see the listing had been up for quite some time, so I messaged the seller, confirmed they were available, and just threw an offer at them. And the offer was a lot less than they wanted, and they said they'd think about it. And after a couple of days, I circled back, said, hey, I'm cash ready, I'll come today. And they gave me an address and I turned up. So the most important thing for me with these wheels is that there's very minimal curb rash on a couple of them. I didn't go over them too thoroughly just yet because I literally just got these home last night. But for me, the most important thing is that there is no cracks or repairs on the barrel. So as soon as I got there, I flipped the wheels around and I went over the barrels thoroughly to make sure there was no hairline cracks. Not that forged wheels generally will crack, but they can crack. Just in the same way a cast wheel, if you hit it hard enough, forged wheels do tend to bend rather than crack. But nevertheless, you still need to be careful and check when you buy used wheels to make sure there's no repairs. So I went over the back of them. Everything looks perfect. And the tires, I really didn't add any value for the tires because I was treating them as throwaways. There's plenty of tread on them, and the tire dates are still good. I believe they're a 2020 manufacture date. But these are all seasons, and from the texture and the feel of the rubber, these have probably been stored outside for maybe 12 months or more, because it just feels hard. It doesn't feel like a nice tacky rubber. So I'm not planning on running these. My game plan is to swap out the tires to either put the brand new Pirelli tires that came on my car, because my car has literally brand new with the stickers on, Pirelli tires, in the factory sizing, which are a 225/40 on the fronts and a 255/35 on the rear, which is actually what the person who owned these did. They just put the factory C43 tires on here. So they're not upsized at all, which if you're going for wider wheels and tires, it definitely makes sense to get slightly wider tires. So you get, you know, more of a contact patch, you know, improved cornering ability and such. But if for somebody like me, if you're doing it mostly for the visual stuff, it's not going to make that big of a difference because I just casually drive my car on the streets. So it really doesn't matter for that much of a difference. I'm more concerned with how it looks on the wheel. Does it look stretched, or does it look like it's a good size for the rim? So these ones here, which are the rears, I believe, so a 255/35. So this is a 9.5 inch rim, and it's got a 255 on it. So there's a very slight curve to the sidewall, but it does have a rim protector on these all seasons. You can see that step to the side here. So it doesn't look bad. So it gives me a good idea of what it would look like if I swapped the tires over from my factory wheels. Because if I can avoid spending over $1,000 on some new performance tires, then I'm going to do that. And I'll look at getting some wider ones in the future when the other ones need replacing. But it really doesn't look too bad at all. And for the fronts, which are 225/40 on an 8.5, again, the sidewall is perhaps a tad more stretched on the fronts, but it doesn't look bad, you know, as far as the sizing goes. It doesn't look overly stretched or weird in any way. So that's an option for me. I'm going to look at the tire sizing and some pricing, but you can definitely tell on the fronts here, there's some camber wear. Even though these are an all season, they have definitely worn down quite a good bit on the inside edge, and the rubber is kind of torn a little bit. So definitely some dry rot, I would say. They just don't feel like they're good anymore. So the tires won't be staying. And the game plan with the finish is I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to see how well they clean up. Like I said, there is some curb rash, which I'll get into once I've cleaned the wheels up and we can kind of look at it. If it can be saved and I don't have to powder coat these, that would be a win, because it's going to cost me several $100s to get them refinished. But I don't want to put them on the car if they don't look nice. So once I clean these up, I'll get a really good look about any knickknacks and scratches on the wheels. And yeah, I'll make a decision today what I plan on doing with them. Because if I don't like the look of it, even when they're cleaned up, then I'll take them to a powder coating shop this week. So I've got a bucket, sponge, just some regular Adams shampoo ready, and I'm just going to give them a real basic wash. So I'll get back with you once I've cleaned them up. Midway through the cleanup, you can see here the before. Pretty sad to see such nice wheels looking this way. And the after. Again, this is just a real basic cleanup. If I decide that these don't need to be refinished and I decide to just keep them as they are, then I'll go back in and do a really deep clean. Obviously, in the really tight crevices, I could put some wheel cleaner that I have, get my tiny little brush out and really get into all the little intricate areas. But for just an initial inspection on them, I just wanted to give them a basic shampoo and get the bulk of the dirt off. You know, to most people, that still looks pretty damn good. But if it's going to go on my car, it has to look super clean. That rose gold finish is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. So yeah, I'm going to keep going and we'll be all finished very shortly. So we're all finished with the cleanup, and the wheels came out great. They are completely unrecognizable from the dirty, tired wheels that I brought home yesterday. These look so much better. It's a really pretty finish actually, the rose gold. They must mix a tint of rose gold into the clear coat and spray it on at the end, because you can see here where it rubbed up against a curb, it just took the clear coat off, which actually took the colour off as well, because you can see the silver beneath. So it's a tinted clear that they apply. That being said, I do think these would be really tough for me to touch up. I don't think any rose gold touch-up paint is really going to match all that well. I could certainly try it and see how it turns out, but I'm more inclined just to get these freshly refinished, so I'm 100% happy with them. And one thing I did notice, which I marked up here with some tape, if I come around, is right on this edge here. It's going to be hard for you to see it on camera, but the sunlight cast in just a way I could see a shadowing here. And if you look, it's not affecting the seating of the bead because the tire is still holding air just fine, but there is a very, very slight little bend just to this section here. So that's going to need straightening out. I mean, obviously once the tires get removed, they will get checked for run out. But that's going to need heating up and pressing back into its correct shape. It may be about 1 millimeter out, you know, right where my nail is probably where it should be. So it's just ever so slightly been bumped. But with these being forged, that's definitely easily repairable. But that's the only thing I noticed was just that tiny little bend right there, where somebody hit a curb or something with enough force just to bend the edge. But the rest of the wheels look great. There's no cracks, like I said before. The barrels cleaned up really nicely. It's a real shame that I'm getting these refinished, because I think, you know, they are savable and they are a nice rose gold, but I want them to look perfect. So when I put them on the car, I'm not going to be bugged by any touched up road rash or anything like that. And I'm also not sure that the rose gold would really work all that well with my dark metallic blue car. I think more of a bronze finish would probably suit better if that's the way I decide to go, or I may just do some kind of silver brushed finish or a polished finish. I'm going to see what I can get done. So I'll get back with you guys once once the powder coating shop has time to fit me in, and I'll head over there. So yeah, I'll get back with you guys in a few days. So before I get these refinished, I figured I'd just put one up against the car so I could see how the rose gold plays up against the blue. And it's definitely not a good combination. I think more of a goldish or bronzish color may work better, but that rose gold is just not doing it for me. That's not a good combo. But definitely cool to put it up next to the car and see how it would look. I get a really good visual next to each other. Obviously this is in the shadows, so it's not as bright of a blue when it's in the shade, but you can still get a good look at it. So yeah, rose gold is not gonna work. So the wheels just came back from full polish. Don't even look like the same wheels. That's so crazy. What a difference the finish makes. The barrels are polished too. The inside is perfect. Look at those center caps. Ooh-wee. Yep. Ready to put some tires on. So here they are. Tires are all mounted. I don't know if video is going to do these justice, but this full polish finish is absolutely incredible. Look at that, it is like a mirror. Center cap's done, attention to detail. perfect. Wow. I cannot wait to put these on the car. Holy cow. There we go, guys. Let's get these wheels home. Okay, so the wheels are unloaded and I'm ready to give them a clean up before I will ceramic coat the barrels and then mount the wheels onto the car. The factory C43 wheels are over here. These are going to need a little bit of a clean up as well, so I can make them all pretty and ready to sell. But for the cleaning, just going to use some gentle snow foam, nothing aggressive, because these wheels are not clear coated, they're just polished. So the metal does need a little bit of care. You can't be using any aggressive cleaners on them. And as far as the rubber, there's a lot of goop from the mounting of the tires, so I need to clean them up and then apply a fresh layer of the tire shine that I like to use. So yeah, so I'm not going to video the whole thing. I'm just going to clean them up and get back with you guys once there's no more gunk and greasy hand marks all over the wheels. Well, that took a lot longer than expected. There was lots of little tiny pieces, not pieces, but little tiny bits of polishing compound that had got stuck in all of the little tiny nooks and crannies. And you know, there's so many different contours and lines, with this to focus, so many different contours and lines on here, because you can see how these are kind of milled out on the sides of the spokes. So I had to really get in there and clean everything out, all the lug pockets. I used a tiny detailing brush to get all of the detail here, and as well as the BC forged right here. Just got all that stuff cleaned up. I made sure the backs of the wheels as well 100% cleaned up. As you can see, they look really nice. So what I'll probably do is, the next step will be to sorry, I'm having trouble focusing the camera here. Next step will be to give the barrels a clean down and a ceramic coating, and I'll do that later on today. But for now, this is where we're up to. All the wheels are done and they're looking perfect. So nothing groundbreaking when it comes to the coating. I just wiped down the barrels with the P&F's surface prep using a fresh microfiber each time. And then I'm just using the C5 wheel armor, putting a generous amount on the microfiber little pad that's provided. And then I'm just using the valve stem as the reference and just doing half the wheel at a time, giving it about 30 to 40 seconds, and then wiping it off with a fresh microfiber, flipping it over and then wiping it a second time, and then just rotate the wheel 180 degrees and do again from half point to half point. And then the full wheel on the barrel is ceramic coated, and that should give, you know, 12 to 18 months or so of protection, hopefully. And yeah, so that's the process. I'm going to finish this last wheel up and then I'll be ready to put the wheels on the car. It is amazing what you can get from Amazon these days. They beat the price of eBay and anywhere else that I checked. And they also offered 2-day shipping. So, I mean, you really can't beat it. 48 hours. These came from Colorado, from the warehouse where they obviously had them. There was one set in stock, and literally 48 hours later, I had them on my doorstep. Free shipping. How can you complain? That's crazy. So this is the C400 C43 H&R Sport Spring Kit, which is the 28811-2 for anyone that's interested in the part number. Obviously, shipping label has been removed. This was actually double boxed, which is really cool, just to ensure there was no chance of the product leaving the package. So I did already pop these staples loose so I could check, but these are all brand new. Everything is included. Installation stuff. This gives you the warranty information. So yeah, everything looks really good. You can see I've got the two kind of narrower ones, which must be for the fronts, and then 2 of the wider ones, which will be for the rears. So excellent, everything's here. So ready to take it to the shop tomorrow morning. All right, so it is the next day and I'm already turned around, driving back from Ben's Works right now. I had a really quick pickup. I didn't have time to really stop and chat, although it would have been really nice to chat with them about some of the cars they had there, because wow, they had some great cars. They had an AMG GTR, they had a new GT3 RS, they had a few different AMGs. They had some really expensive, really nice cars. But I was kind of on a time crunch, so I just picked the car up, paid them, and I'm back on the freeway, headed home. Just hitting a bit of traffic here, but I've had quite a bit of open straightaways, and I've got the car set up in comfort mode right now, and I can tell you, this is driving exactly how it felt before it had the H&R springs installed. Now, I haven't tried it on sport setting yet, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit firmer, but for normal driving, when I'm on the freeway, this is perfect. I mean, these are very, very nice springs, not harsh at all. And these roads are far from smooth, and I'm not getting much vibration at all. So initial impressions are A1. Very, very pleased with the H&R Sport springs. And as far as the appearance goes, the drop has basically reduced the gap above the tire to like a 1-finger clearance, which looks really, really good. And they will settle even just a touch more once I put some miles on it, since it's obviously just been just been installed. The car's been on a lift, and these are brand new springs, so they will settle down just a touch more. But even as they are right now, it looks 100 times better that it's not riding like a monster truck. So no regrets spending the money, having it professionally installed and having the alignment done, because I know the job was done correctly. And yeah, so that's it. And as far as the overall cost goes, for anyone who's considering something similar, the install cost, including alignment, was about $1,000. And I'm just going to put that out there because I'm sure some people are thinking about doing something similar, and that is not out of the norm. That is a normal price for this car. I called 3 different shops that are all Mercedes specialists and independent shops as well, not main dealer. I'm talking about shops that are well known in Orange County, and they were all ballpark within like $100 of each other. So that price was fair, and that included alignment as well, so got to factor that in. So maybe about, I don't know, $800 for the labor for the install of the springs, and then another couple $100 to get the alignment done. So all in all, a little bit pricey to get them installed, but as far as no headaches and just handing over the keys and picking it up the next day, it's certainly nice to do it this way. So yeah, you just have to bite the bullet sometimes when you don't have the time to do it yourself. So that's it. I'll get some video footage tomorrow if I get the car outside, and then give you guys a walk around. So I'll catch up with you later. All right, you ready to see the end result? BC forged wheels and H&R Sport lowering springs. There she is. I'll try and give you guys a good walk around here so you can get the fitment down the sides, as well as the overall look on the side of the car. I like from the front how the GTR grille ties in with the wheels. It's just a little bit of chrome on the front, not too much. And I did also switch out the front lip. I put this one is from Extreme Online Store. It's carbon fiber, as you can see up close. Fitment is super good. I switched that up since the last time I gave you an update on the front, but I just prefer the fitment of this one. On the sides here, I like this area much better than the previous lip. So yeah, there she is. Definitely a really different look to the car, the C450 that I'd previously done a build on this channel. So not too many cars running polished wheels like this. It's definitely a different look, but I like it. I think it looks fresh, and against the dark blue paintwork, I think it does need wheels that pop. I think black wheels would just get lost. So yeah, really pleased with how this came out, because I wasn't too sure how it was all going to come together as far as the wheels were concerned with the polished finish. But yeah, I'm happy. So I do have more things planned in the future. This car is crying out for a paint correction. Even though she looks nice and glossy here, there's a lot of love marks from the previous owner just wiping on it over the years. And it's going to really come up nicely once it gets a light buff and then some kind of coating. But I'm holding off on that until I'm finished with the exterior mods, because I don't want to add more carbon fiber or any kind of aero pieces until the car's 100% finished, because I've done it before where I had the car coated first and then I started changing the spoiler and installing aero pieces and stuff. I'd rather just not mess with the car for the exterior. Once I've done the coating, I just want to leave the exterior alone. So you'll notice I did take the C43 emblem off that was on the right hand side here. It was just looking a bit too busy. I prefer just having the AMG and the Mercedes emblem on the back. I think it just looks a lot cleaner. So we'll stay on this side of the car because the sun's casting this side, so you can see the wheels and the overall details the best this way. Still not decided on the calipers whether I'm going to paint these or not. I kind of feel like the silver works well against the polished wheels, so for now I'm not going to do anything with the calipers. I just cleaned them up super well when I had the wheels off so that they look nice and mint. You can see I got in all the nooks and crannies. I even got the back of the caliper too, just because I was there anyway, so I felt like I might as well clean them up. But yeah, there she is. This is the new wheel setup for now, unless I find something else that I prefer. But this is how she's looking. And the H&R springs definitely helped a ton. Without the lowering springs, these just didn't look as nice at all. So hopefully they'll settle just a little bit more. It would be nice if I got another 1/4 inch or so of a drop. But even sitting like this, it still looks really good. So I'll take it. I think it was a 1.2 inch drop. So nothing insane. And obviously this car has the adaptive AMG suspension, so this is kind of designed to work with the factory shocks and not cause any problems. You can just see all the mirror this thing casts. I'm pretty sure this is blinding. If you see me driving down the road on a sunny day with these wheels, I bet they absolutely blind people just with all the reflections coming off the wheels, because they're like a mirror. They're so insanely shiny. So yeah, there we go guys. Hopefully got you guys some good coverage here of the wheels so you can see how the installed finished product looks. So I've got a ton more stuff coming in the future. I'll try and get another video up really soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I greatly appreciate anybody who considers subscribing. Hopefully I can bring you some good content. All right, this is me signing out. Speak to you soon.